All right, Spill the Matcha fam, welcome back. As you can tell, I have someone very special with me. For those of you who don't know her, she's about to introduce herself to you guys. Introduce yourself, girl.
Hi, I'm Ghazal.
And
I don't know.
all right. So Ghazal is a friend and also someone that I met in the gym.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, actually, one of the first people I met at the gym through a yoga class. She is one of the yoga instructors at one of the gyms that I work out in. And she is one of those badass girls that I feel like people need to know more about. Last time I had Victoria with us. This time I have Ghazal, and we're going to get to know Ghazal a little bit, and we're going to be talking about a few topics. But before we dive right in, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Spill the Matcha crew out there who have been liking, subscribing, interacting with the shorts, everything basically. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And Ghazal, we were going to teach you a little something. The first thing we do in Spill the Matcha is we do the matcha cheers.
Oh,
so
this is what I came for.
it's going to be
Adele's
all
matcha.
three of us. Cheers, guys. Sip. We sip the matcha before we spill the matcha. All right. This is her first time trying out the Matcha Queen's signature matcha latte.
good.
I need a review because she's a fellow matcha girly.
Honestly, 10 out of 10. That was really good. Creamy. You didn't even sweeten it.
Nothing.
Perfect. Really nice.
She's a matcha girly. She understands the assignment. So she's not going to be like, oh, this is great, and doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She drinks matcha. So added bonus is why she's here. All right. Ghazal,
Thank you. Yeah.
for those who don't know you out there,
Yeah.
tell us a little something about who Ghazal is. Like, who are you? Not defined by what you do for work. Who is Ghazal outside the studios? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Okay. That's really difficult. Because normally I would say I'm a yoga instructor. I'm into fitness. Who am I as a person? I feel like I'm quite introverted, even though like you would see me like, teaching classes, some big classes, some small classes. I get along with people. I find it really easy to, strike up conversations. But at the same time, like I'm a bit shy, like deep down. Yeah.
Would have never known. Okay.
Which I find is really interesting when I can teach a class, a room full of people.
Right.
But like put me up and like have to say a speech in front of a room. No, I can't do it. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's really weird.
Okay.
What else? I'm a very big family person. I love my family. I'm really close with my family. What else? I love to travel. I'm all about trying new things, different experiences. When it comes to like fitness as well, for example, I climbed Kilimanjaro. I love to run. I've done like half marathons. Like I'm really active. I just love to, do activities, different things, explore like cities in a different way, in an active way. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is Ghazal is an introvert. And she is courageous and likes to try things out of her comfort zone.
Yeah, I love to be outside.
Did I get it?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, now that we know who you are, who are you work-wise? Because when I found out who this girl is, I'm just like, you do what? Because there are so many things that you do in a day.
Yeah, I mean, so do you as well, right?
And that's why I admire like a fellow, go-getter, hustler out there killing it, like really like, growing and glowing everywhere. So I want people to know, who is Ghazal? What do you do? Like if someone were to ask you, Ghazal, what do you do?
Oh, that's always like, I'm like, where do I start?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So I do a few different things. So I'm a yoga teacher and barre instructor. So I do have classes throughout the week that I teach. And I have some private clients as well. And then I have my own little baby project, Rawfinery, that I started like 4 years ago. And it's basically a healthy snacking company specialized in gluten-free and dairy-free desserts. because I have a sweet tooth. And ever since I started my yoga journey, I wanted to create and make something that, I would love to enjoy, but doesn't, affect me in a negative way. And I love to bake as well. So I just switched up the way I was baking and using different ingredients. So I have Rawfinery. And then it's a kitchen, so it's based on delivery. So people order on the website or Instagram, and then I send it out. And then I also work with my family business. That's sort of what I first started doing after I graduated. We're in like marble and granite. It's a very male-dominated, industry. It's not really for me. I don't really, it wasn't my passion. But then I found my passion through yoga, through fitness and wellness, basically. And then through that, I created like an online presence, an Instagram journey with Ghazal, where I share, things on my wellness journey, self-care, fitness, travel, all sorts of things like mental health, just kind of showcasing like who I am as a person, but also getting people to be inspired, to kind of become the best version of themselves that they can be. Yeah.
And you mentioned that like you had, the family business, obviously, and then you actually made a choice.
Yeah.
That this wasn't for you.
Yeah.
How hard was it a difficult choice? Was it supported? Do you feel like it would have been easier had you stayed and kind of just went down that path? Yeah. Because some people would be looking at you like, you have a family business and then you decided that you wanted no part of it, or you didn't want to be a part of it. Like
that's what my dad said. No, but I'm still a part of it. I still work with my family, but it's not 100% of my time anymore. Like at the end of the day, your parents want you to be happy, but I feel like growing up, I always had this pressure of pleasing them, especially my dad. He gave us so much education, private education here, education in the UK, and then I don't want to let them down. So he was, I always like followed the path, and I never thought for myself. I was like, okay, he's saying I need to go do business, so I went and I studied business management, and then he's saying I need to come in and work for the family business. So I came back but then I'm like, I didn't like it. It was like 6 days a week, 2 shifts, morning, afternoon. Like,
wow.
It was not me. And I was like, I can't. And then I sort of like, started getting into yoga and like got the certification, and slowly I was like pulling away a little bit.
Right.
But I didn't really get the, now and then, like when I first started, my dad would always be like, oh, you're wasting your time. Why are you wasting your time on these little things? Like, you could be doing so much more. But I think as time went on and he saw, the different things that I was doing, and collaborating with different like studios or hotels or doing events, and just the joy that I had when I would talk about it, he would just be a little bit more quiet.
Okay.
But I mean, even to this day, like he, with my Rawfinery, he keeps calling it like a hobby, a project. I mean, it is, but like, it's just hard to always please them. Like, but at the end of the day, you have to do what you like and wake up and you have a passion for that keeps you going. And this, for me, it's those two things. But
was there a turn back moment? Was there like a moment where you were kind of like, what am I doing? Like
every day, every day.
Okay, you're right.
Like every day, I'm just like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? But I really enjoy it, and it just, I don't know, it just gives me so much like peace, and like, for example, teaching a class and getting people through that motion of like, finding peace. Right. When they first come, they're all like, you can see it in their face, like they're just all, stressed. And then after they leave, they find that like little calm, little peace. And
100%.
Feeling that I gave them that feeling, I'm like, wow, like that's really powerful.
Definitely.
So I just go with what I enjoy and what I feel like.
Amazing. Yeah. It's quick story time. In one of Ghazal's classes, she made me cry. I mean, big surprise. Adele's always crying about something, but
I remember that.
But there was like, you mentioned about like how people feel after your yoga class. I'm a very hectic and chaotic person. My life is literally back to back to back to back. And then when I chose to do that class, It was basically like, you know what else do I have to do? Let's just do this class. By the end of it, like when we do Shavasana, that is basically when you are lying down on your back, you're kind of trying to silence your mind, and you're just trying to, go in, right? I went in for the first time in a long time, and you gave the class, not just me, but obviously me, the space to do it. And then, connecting with myself at that time was so emotional. And, like, I don't know if people cry during your Shavasana. I think they cry during the yoga flow.
People fall asleep in Shavasana.
And I'm out here just like wiping tears. And I'm like, why is this happening? What's going on? Yeah, but, boohoo, Adele's always crying anyways. But, but yeah, no, like it's something special that you do give to people. That's time and space just to kind of focus on just being present, right?
Yeah, just being, not doing.
Yeah, 100%, right?
We're all about, like, we're called human beings, but ironically, we're human doings. Like, we're just doing all the time.
Mind blown. I love that quote. We're going to quote Ghazal on that. We're human beings, but we're human doings.
Yeah, we need to be more. Yeah.
Shook. I like it. So tell me a little bit about the mindset that you've had to have to do what you're doing, because a lot of people probably look at you and they're like, how does she do it? And I look at you and I'm just like, snaps to my girl. But for the folks at home, tell them what do you need to do? Like, how do you get to wake up every morning and just have the energy to do everything that you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, first I have like the discipline. I think growing 100%. Up, I always had the discipline. But I feel like a lot of it is owed to abundance and having that abundance mindset.
The A word.
Oh yeah. The big A.
We hear this thrown around. Like I see it all over Instagram. It's becoming like a hype word, right? A lot of people are talking about abundance. What if you were to define abundance? Not in just the dictionary terms, but in your terms, what do you genuinely feel? Like, what do you feel abundance is?
Yeah. So I'll just like give you another example. Like, for example, if you go outside, you're not going to be asking the sun to just shine on you specifically. Like, oh, today I want the sun to just shine on me, only me. The sun's shining on everyone equally. Like, there's room for everybody to grow. There's room for everyone to have their own space and shine in their own way. And I feel like for me, I always focused on what I have. Like, instead of being like, oh, there's so many yoga teachers out there.
Facts, right. They're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Everyone's certified now. Everyone's a yoga teacher. But instead of being like, oh no, like, I can't teach, like, I can't teach. There's so many yoga teachers. But I focus on what do I have to give? What is my unique, like, trait? Maybe it's the way I teach, my teaching style. A lot of people say it's my voice. They say I have a calming voice.
You do. We were trying to mic check these and she's trying to be loud. Just like, oh, how cute. She's trying to be loud.
My yoga voice is different though.
Exactly.
You'll know. And my Shavasana voice is
different.
Yeah.
Lullabies. Lullabies. Makes me cry.
But yeah, so it could be that, or just the way I connect with people, and that will like draw clients in and bring people in. So it's not about competing with someone else. It's just about focusing on staying in your own lane and focusing on the qualities you have and, bringing that out.
Do you feel like abundance has kind of gotten this bad rep as just because people always like connect abundance to monetary value. Like I want to be abundant, and it does have to do with, obviously money. Yeah. But that's the only way people think about it. It's like, oh, abundance of finances, abundance of money coming in. And then when they want to manifest abundance, they get kind of like disappointed and they're just like, where's the money at?
I mean, that's, I don't think that's the right way to think of it. I feel like, maybe there's like monetary value involved, but like, I think of it in a way of like, I say like a win-win situation. Okay. So let me give you an example. For example, when I started Rawfinery, and this was like a few years ago, I was in the farmers markets. I had like my little packaging, my boxes, and I had a few people like that were, in the same sort of field as me and asking me, oh, where did you get your packaging? Oh, where do you get your ingredients? I don't try to like hide it. So I was like sharing with them, oh, I got it from here. This is the place. Actually, this is the better price. I went here. And I feel like it's a win-win because why? For them, I'm basically cutting down the time and the energy for them. They can go straight to the source. For the company, they're getting another client, the packaging company. And 100%. For me, it's also a win, maybe in the monetary sense, because I can, go back to the packaging company and be like, I gave you ABC clients. For my next order, can I get a discount, for example?
100%. It goes around, right?
It's just like, it's a win-win. So don't think of it as like, oh, I need it. Maybe you won't get that return immediately,
right?
But it'll come back. It will come back.
And do you feel like abundance takes time? Like people are just kind of like waiting for when they write their manifestations. Like I think both of us are very much into writing down exactly what we want, not just once a year during like New Year's, because where it's January and everything. New moon, full moon, whenever we feel a little off, we journal, we talk, we write down things. But people feel like, oh, it's not happening. It's just not going to happen. I kind of want you to turn that into like an abundance, because like L's, like the lows, the losses, sometimes are abundance. And I don't feel like people see them in that lens. Do you sometimes see it in that lens? Like when let's just say something doesn't turn out the way you want it to, how do you deal with it? Like a setback.
Yeah. I mean, obviously when you're in it, it's really tough and it's really hard to find that mindset. But I mean, I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of like support, a great support system. And I always think that, at the end of the day, things are always going to work out. And that setback is probably what's going to lead me to the next best thing. So I always try to reframe it, reframe my mindset to think that good things are always coming for me.
Right.
And maybe
it takes work.
It takes work. Maybe it doesn't come tomorrow, but when that time does come in a year, 2 years, or whenever it does, you look back, you're like, oh, that's why that happened. And this is what I'm receiving as a result.
Because some people just get discouraged about the wait time.
Yeah. But I mean, nothing that's good comes easy. So
another quote.
If you like my quotes, my daily quotes.
Listen, plug yourself, girl.
I'm all about the quotes.
Listen, you know what you need to do? You need to give yourself a plug. This is what Khaled taught me. Ever since I started to spill the matcha, if people want to follow you, tell them where to find you. All the quotes. She's about the quotes. Yes.
Find me on Instagram, Journey with Ghazal. And I post every day in the morning. I post like a quote. It's like a reminder. And honestly, I get some like great feedback. Like some people are like, I really needed this today.
100%.
Like, that's great. Like sometimes it really hits you.
Definitely. What resonates, right?
But yeah, take what resonates. Exactly. Yeah.
And then, so tell me, what are the steps that you feel we need to get to get to that abundance? It's a new year. Yeah. It's 2024. Everyone's talking about the 2024 energy. Yeah. And I don't know if you've heard about it, but like a lot of, numerologists are talking about how this is a pretty abundant year. I'm going to tell you why. Basically math, numerology.
Yeah.
2, 2, and 4 make 8. 8 sideways is the infinity sign. So infinite possibilities, infinite amounts of opportunities of blessings, of manifesting. Everyone's talking about this number 8, like this 8 year. Yeah. So without the numerology involved, what do we need to do? Like, Ghazal, like give us, like, if people are listening to us right now and like, all right, she's talking about abundance. This sounds cute. I want to be on this abundance train. Yeah. I want to hop on. Yeah. What are we doing?
I would say the first thing is gratitude.
Another great word.
Yeah. Gratitude always. I mean, if you guys journal, like wake up every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. I mean, it sounds so generic, but honestly, it helps. Like it really does. It helps to ground you down. It helps to really like, even if you're not in a good mindset, like you come back to the basics. Like you come back to like, I have a roof over my head. I have basic things that people don't have and that you can really be, grateful for this situation and where you are in your life. And you don't look at your problems as looming or as dooming as they may be,
Gratitude's the attitude.
So gratitude, and there's a quote by Oprah. She says...
We like some Oprah.
Yeah. She says, if you look at what you have in your life, you will always have more. Okay. But if you look at what you don't have in your life, you'll never have enough. So
I like that.
I think it's so important. And it's so important to be surrounded by like, a great support system, friends, loved ones. Yeah. People with the same sort of mindset around you, people that can lift you up, that can support you. And the more that you have these like you know, amazing people with you, the more experiences and the more like amazing times you'll have ahead. So it adds up together.
100%.
Yeah.
And then if you feel like what have you ever had to lose someone on your journey of the journey with Ghazal? Like, because I talk about this and sometimes in my podcast in previous episodes about how if your environment isn't suiting you, isn't serving you, isn't like, let's just say we want to be abundant and the people around you are just not in that mindset and are, instead of, you know, opening you up, lifting you up, they're basically dragging you down. Have you ever felt like you've been in a toxic like situation where you're just kind of like, what am I doing here?
Definitely.
And how did you like overcome that?
I think I was in a bad mindset myself. Once I changed my mindset, I was like at a very low point, you know, lost my self-worth, self-esteem, like all of that. But once I built myself back up, the people just kind of dropped off.
They fell off, right?
Fell off, yeah.
Altitude, right? Because sometimes people cannot handle the altitude that you're flying at.
Yeah.
And they just kind of...
And they fall off. And it's no bad, like, it's just, you're not aligning anymore. You're not on the same wavelength anymore.
And I think it's like easier said than done, because obviously these people we have like connections with, right? Like these are people like, you know, they've been part of our life. And, you know, maybe it was a trauma bond, maybe it was a toxic bond. And it was something that, you know, it was at a low point in your life, like you mentioned. But some people just get hung up on the losses. They're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to lose these people. And then always reverting back to just, because that's where they're comfortable, right? Like there's a comfort in just knowing the people around you, knowing that this is what's expected, knowing that we're chilling down here.
Yeah.
How do you get brave enough just to like grow out of that, be out of your comfort zone? You talked about so many things that you do. You challenge yourself both physically, mentally, spiritually, like everything. How do you do it?
But they just come. Like you decide that I'm working on myself. I'm building myself. And then you attract people that are good for you in that moment towards you.
Do you believe in frequencies and vibes?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like 100%. You meet someone and off the bat, you know, like I'm on your vibe level. Like I can vibe with you or not. Like,
have you ever met someone you're kind of like, am I vibing on the right note here?
Probably, yeah.
It's kind of like, this is what I'm bringing into my circle. Like sometimes you have to check your vibe and your frequency. I'm just kind of like, this is not the frequency. Can we just change the dial to dial this up real quick? But I mean, sometimes we kind of meet people along our path, and not everyone's here. And sometimes when you're vibing high, don't you feel like you attract people who need fixing?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I become a therapist for people.
Yes.
But
the double-edged sword of this.
It's like that. But I mean, you know, it's also nice. Like I get it. If I was like roles were reversed, if I was at a low point, I would want to be around someone that, you know, has their stuff
100%.
together, that, you know, is very focused, because I want that person to kind of pull me and motivate me to get me there too.
Definitely.
So I don't mind, like, you know, being that like helper and like
that catalyst, as Khaled likes to call them, catalysts. But what if they're just dragging you down? Like, okay, because you've reached out the rope, right? Come on this journey with me. I'm on a hot air balloon and we're going up. All right. But then they just end up being a boulder, and they're like, oh, I love what you're doing, but I can't do it. Like, do you cut them? Are you a cut off person? Like just snip, snip? What kind of do you let them down gently? Do you let them down just like without even knowing they're free falling all of a sudden? What kind of letdown are you?
I don't know.
Putting you on the spot here.
Oh my God.
I need to know.
I cut it.
She cuts it.
I cut it.
Dang, I like it. Lethal. She's all about love and light, but don't.
Because I want to preserve my energy as well. You know,
100%.
I think as selfish as it is, sometimes self-care is selfish. It is selfish. So you have to put yourself first, and you know, just
all
go
right.
with that.
Well, we're going to do a little quick fire with Ghazal right now.
Let's do it.
I know you're all about the healthy vibes, healthy life, all that jazz. But when the girl wants to go on a like cheat day, like just one of those days you're just like, I don't want to think about it. All right. What is your go-to meal?
Okay. I was gonna go straight to dessert because I was just thinking like of a cookie ice cream sandwich.
No, I want the meal. I want the cheap meal.
Oh, the meal.
What can you like not turn down?
Honestly, dessert. But
all right, let's get to dessert. What's your? I love it.
I'm just trying to think of a meal. I don't know.
Hence Rawfinery. I get
Yeah.
it. But like, no. Let's talk about dessert. What is like? You see it on a menu.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're ordering this. I don't care if I had a salad. We're having this right now.
A hot cookie, chocolate chip hot cookie with the vanilla ice cream on top. That's it. Like,
ooh, that's classic. That's classic. All right.
any cookie combo, ice cream cookie, whatever.
By the way, if you ever try her Rawfinery desserts, put some ice cream on it.
Yes. Yeah, we did that last time.
It's too good. It's too good. All right. Next question, Ghazal.
Yes.
Looking back on 2023, we're still really fresh into 2024. What was one of your highlights of 2023?
Highlights. I had a few. I mean, I ran half a marathon. I think that was pretty cool. Didn't think I would be able to do that. Highlights. Oh, I had like a big family reunion in the US with like all my family and my nephews and niece, and that was just so special. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I love that. All right. Well, with a highlight, there needs to be a low light.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you wouldn't mind sharing with the people at home? Like a time in 2023 where you're just like,
I've been having a lot of like the past maybe year and a half or something issues with my skin. I've been having like glaring acne. I mean, it's much better now, but I would say like 2023, I had like a peak. I think it got really bad. But yeah, that was like my low sort of point. Because I mean, obviously it affects like, your self-esteem 100%. And things like that. But yeah, that was a bit of a struggle, like going through it.
I love that you mentioned that because some people just take that for granted.
Yeah, it's really tough. I don't know. I think like coming down to it, it's all about gut health. That's what I realized. So now I'm just focusing a lot on strengthening my gut and just, healing from the inside in.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Fact about Ghazal that not a lot of people know about.
Ooh. What people don't know about me. I don't know. I mean, people get surprised that I'm Iranian. Everyone thinks I'm Lebanese, actually. Like, everyone speaks to me in Arabic. I'm like, I don't speak Arabic.
I see it, though. I thought you were Lebanese. When I first met you, I was like, oh, that's another Lebanese.
Because my name also.
Ghazal, exactly.
So maybe that I'm Iranian.
I love that. Because the people probably would look at you like, literally would
Even Iranians, they don't believe I'm Iranian.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's really weird.
Well, you definitely look like you're from the region, but we just like assume that you speak Arabic. So I was like, come up to her. I was like, oh, hey, what's up, my Lebanese sister? She's looking at me like, no, girl.
Lebanese women are beautiful. So I take that as a compliment anyways.
Oh, stop it. If you could live anywhere in the world other than Doha, where would it be and why?
San Francisco, I think.
San
Francisco or LA. I'm like torn between. But I just California, honestly, like the vibes.
I feel you. It's a vibe.
It's so nice. Like the wellness scene, the food scene, like just everyone just looks good, dresses good, like just
facts.
It's just so nice.
I agree.
Yeah.
How has it been actually being raised in Doha? So people don't know this about Ghazal, because she has like the perfect English accent, like when she talks.
Not like yours.
She speaks like she's not, she hasn't been born and raised here. People would have probably assumed that you weren't, right? Like people, like when people meet you, they're probably like, oh, where's she from?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, I've been around. How long have you been in Doha for?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah, a long time. Grew up here, but I did my schooling here and then went to London for university. I did like a year out in Paris. So my degree was with French. So I spoke a bit of French, but I'm like losing it now. It sucks, but anyways,
the French, because you know what? That's a very hard language to learn.
Yeah, I know, but it's so beautiful.
It is.
And then I came back here. So yeah. It's been a journey, to say the least.
All right, now that you told me that you know Give me one word tell me a sentence in French that it's stuck.
I went to the bad word straight away.
Because we all
learn to swear in French. It's really funny.
Do you?
Yeah, it's funny.
But it would probably sound so chic. Being sweared at in French would be cute. I'd be like, yeah, swear at me some more. That sounds great. And then you're just like, no, these are swear words. It's like, oh, you're giving me compliments? No, honey, she's dissing you.
Je sais pas. Dis-moi quelque chose, je sais pas.
Ooh, okay, so what does that mean?
I don't know. Tell me something.
That's a very good French accent.
Oh, merci.
With the r, merci, not merci. It's merci.
Merci.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, obviously Lebanese people, we speak French and English. And
I love it.
Arabic. I unfortunately did not grow up in Lebanon, so I didn't get the French part. I missed out.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a part of me that I haven't tapped into. There's a French girl somewhere in there. Just wants some baguettes and croissants.
And a matcha on the side.
Yeah, but I think that would be so insulting to the French people where they're just like, you don't drink coffee? You don't, where's your coffee and cigarettes? Like, what is this? What is this matcha?
Honestly, I think you'd be surprised if you go to Paris now. There's like so many matcha cafes and
putting it on the map then.
Cafe Kitsune.
Oh yes, that's right. Do you know that it's open in Doha?
It's in Mashera.
It is. I walked past it. I'm like,
I know it's everywhere.
We have this.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Ghazal.
Yes.
A word or like a sentence or a phrase that you want to leave our viewers with. How do you want to just like end this episode?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I want to go back to just the abundance, having that abundance mindset. No matter at what point, if you're not, feeling your best, if you're at a low, just know that if you feel like, if you have that mindset that like everything is going to turn out, when you give energy, you give time to someone, it will come back. Maybe it doesn't, or even money, it will come back. It'll come back maybe not tomorrow. It'll come back another time in another way. So don't put that pressure on it. Like just have faith and trust that, you're on the right path and good things are always coming and everything is going to be okay. So
I love that. And I think that's a good energy to start like 2024 on, we're still the first month, although it's ending, there is still a chance for beginnings, right? And even if you feel like you had a false start, like sometimes we, the beginning of the year doesn't start the way we hoped for. Maybe it's not exactly what we envisioned.
Yeah.
But I think having the mindset that I can start again. Every day is a new day.
Yeah. Give yourself that grace. Like don't put that pressure on yourself. Everyone, goes through hard times and everyone goes through things, but there's always that like sunshine at the end. So
100%.
Just,
and if, January 1st didn't work out for you, there's always Lunar New Year coming up in February. Fam. All right. So there are chances. There are so many chances.
Yeah.
Ghazal, I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for sharing your insight about abundance and giving people a little bit more about who you are. If you want to follow this girl, please do. Honestly, like some inspiring things happen on this page. Journey with Ghazal. And I'm going to see you glow and grow, fam. Keep glowing, keep growing. Drink your matcha, kids. And I will see you guys not next week because I'm competing next week.
Ooh.
Please.
Oh my God. You go, girl. Look at her. She's doing it all.
We both are. That's the energy we're on. That's the energy we're on. And I would love to continue to see you grow and glow, girl. I can't wait to see what's in store for you in 2024.
Thank you so much, Adele. It was so nice to be on here. And
loved it.
I'm
loved
so
it.
Excited. Thank you.
All right, fam. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.